All right, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada. We're here at the Adafruit Factory in downtown Manhattan, where we do all our testing, manufacturing, shipping, kitting, videoing, coding, and more. But for the next 30 minutes-ish or so, we're going to check in with people around the community. What are you making? What are you crafting, hacking, 3D printing, etc.? We'd like to see it. We're going to kick it off with some folks from the Adafruit community, but you are welcome to join. We're going to be here till about 7:50 p.m. First up, Jepler.
Kevin from Digi-Key is running a little late, so we're going to start with Jeff. If Kevin comes in, we'll get to it. But Jeff, take it away.
Surprise. So I'm talking floppies yet again. A little background. Your common DOS floppy has data written on both sides, but the drive can read it just because it's got two read-write heads. But a lot of your classic 8-bit computers could only work with one side, and that leads you to crazy things like PogoJo for Commodore 64, which is also PogoJo for Atari 400, 800, and 1200.
Oh, and check it out. It has the two index holes.
And yeah, so this has two index holes, and that means you could put it directly in your PC drive with Grease Weasel and flip it over and read each side. Although sadly, this floppy is dead. I paid good money on eBay, but I can't read any of it. It just looks good.
That's great.
So if you were a kid like me, you heard from somebody that you could like cut out the corner of your floppy disk, and now you had twice as many floppy disks.
Would you like chew on it like sixth, fifth grader?
I was like 9. I don't know what I was doing. I had a round hole punch, and like I went at it until it worked. And this disk is just wrecked. I have a box of wrecked disks from my childhood. It's kind of sad. But I did run across this disk, Megaplay Volume 1. It's a flippy diskette, but it doesn't have the hole. And I'm like, so what do? You
it has one hole. It doesn't have the second hole.
Right. It has just the one hole. It doesn't have the second hole over here, so that when you flip it, that sensor that's mounted in the one position doesn't see the hole. And it won't read. So what do? And the answer is you modify your floppy drive. And this is based on some instructions from the creator of the Flux Engine software, who kind of distilled down other people's instructions. But basically the idea is you add to this wheel that spins a dark band with one little gap and a sensor over here, which can tell each time that comes around. And you wire it into your power and ground. And up here, you create a switch that can switch it in or out. This is not going to work, in or out of the circuit, so that when you're reading the back side of a disk, let me hold it up like this. It's black, so it's hard to see, but you can select whether you're using the index hole or whether you're using the revolution sensor just super quick. So I actually successfully read Megaplay Volume 1 and played myself some Pipeline 2, which seems to feature these maybe Italian plumbers, and they've got some kind of plumbing situation going on. It's a fun game. I remember
What about Agent
from
X?
my childhood. I did not load up Agent X. I went right to Pipeline 2 because I'm like, I'm getting I'm not sure. Street Beat Cage Match is like a beat 'em up game.
Yeah.
Street Beat, I think, is music something. Well, yeah, these are some good games.
Well, pop up the G64 up on archive.org, and we'll check it out.
All right, yeah, I will do that.
I'm excited. I will also Mega Play.
More floppy stuff to come, but that's what I got this week. The floppy reversible mod. If you want to undo it, you just unsolder those things, and your drive is as good as new. So good to know.
Flippy floppy.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Flippy floppy.
All right, next up we're going to go to Anne, and then after Anne, we're going to go to Noe and Pedro. I'm going to keep this going. Hey, Anne, what you got going on this week?
Well, I have some floppy stuff, too. I approach it a little bit different from Jeff. I've been IBM PC gal for many, many years, and I have quite the collection of floppies myself, both 5 1/4 and 3 1/2, and this is just part of them. And I need to archive them, that and even a bunch of CD-ROMs and zip disks. So what do? Well, some of it's compatible with modern technology, a lot isn't. I have that need, and I also have a need to create floppies for my vintage computers, IBM PC, XT, a couple compacts, because I want to have their software done. And actually, I have some software that's vintage that from way back when. It's just getting it onto those computers. How do I do it? So I bought this Pentium III machine on eBay, and it wasn't quite all together. I've been working on it. I got a 5 1/4 drive to add to it. I souped up the CD to add DVD reading also. Computer this old won't write DVDs. Also, instead of a spinning rust hard drive, I have SD card to IDE adapter, and I maxed up the memory. You know, this isn't meant to be like a totally stock vintage machine. It's more like a workhorse that goes between my current really fast machine and my retro machine.
The translator, so you can get the files to and from.
Right, looks fun.
Yeah, it is, and there's actually software that runs on Windows. I got XT and Windows 98 SE dual booted here, so I can run either operating system. There's a software called WinImage that will image floppy drives and work with the images. So if I find something interesting and it would be good for Internet Archive, I could submit those too.
All right, thanks, Anne, and her retro computer.
All right, we'll keep stopping back, and if you find anything interesting, come back and let us know what you published on Archive or on the Adafruit blog.
Really, I would like to. And then also when Lamore and Jeff finish their floppy stuff, I've got drives here that I want to interface to, because I'm really interested in putting microcontrollers and floppies together too.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Anne. And everyone tune into Anne's posted more. We are on a retro roll on the Adafruit blog. All right.
All right, next up.
Noe and Pedro is up next. And then after that, we're going to go to Scott. Take it away, Noe and Pedro.
Hey guys.
Hey folks.
So you gave away what you wanted to show. Okay, so more floppy stuff. I guess it's floppy February. So all the floppy drives, we want to make sure we have some enclosures to make sure everything's nice and safe. And Phil, you've been posting a bunch of the retro translucent stuff. So of course, I want to try to emulate that with 3D printing.
Yeah,
so using
it's a look.
Yeah, it's definitely a look. So tried pretty hard to try to get the translucency as clear as I could, so you can kind of see like the internals of stuff. Definitely works when you have like an enclosure already on there. And Lamar wanted to have like some stackables, so added that in there as well. And that's pretty much it. Just a editable file. We have the step files on the Learn guide, so you guys can edit those out. I know there's like different heights for like drives and stuff like that, so you guys can play around with that. And I have all the slice settings and the filaments that you can try out with different colors that might give you some cool translucency look to your cases. And then Noah's got some stuff from
the yellow
last
one.
week.
Looks like there's a person who's at Frog Design or IDEO, I forget which one. And they're posting up all the prototypes of Apple over the last like 30 years. There's a really neat one that they're it's like it's a cobbled together version of an iPad before iPads came out, and the yellow thing looks just like that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So,
I blame you for now. Now my YouTube recommendation is all vintage Mac like Performa stuff, and I'm sitting there like, oh no, don't get one. I have no room for this.
Yeah.
Sometimes the algorithm works.
Well, you can make the little mini one. You made the little mini one. That's all you need.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, you got something else to show, or you?
Yeah,
from last week.
Yeah, last week's Zoetrope project. I just wanted to create a new animation for you, Phil.
That's
You say
Oh,
we do
wow.
skateboard tricks as it's kind of an idea, right? So I figured let's do an actual skateboard trick. So
That's
these
cool.
are acrylic
That's nice.
panels, and instead of milling them myself, I sent these the SVG files to Pinocchio. It's a laser cutting service. So if anyone needs like a bunch of laser cut panels, check out Pinocchio. They do
nice
some good.
kickflip.
That looks great.
Yeah, is it a kickflip or is it impossible?
Well,
It's hard to. It's hard.
impossible,
to
I guess, because a kickflip would be going the other way. But
you know your stuff.
yeah,
But check it out. It was last week's
skateboarding
project.
is no one's going to argue with each other. They're just going to do tricks because it's not like Twitter and the internet. So just to give everyone a little bit of background why we like the idea of skateboarding. Skateboarding is a fun thing because everyone comes together. They're showing each other tricks. They're like, hey, look at that. I can do that. I can do that. A lot like really good open source communities where it's like, hey, that's cool software that you release. Here's my thing that I'm building on top of it. And everyone's constantly pushing each other, but in a good way. So that's kind of one of our, I don't know, philosophies.
No, it's really good when somebody takes your designs, edits it to their need. So
yeah,
it's
very cool.
Take my tricks, please.
All right. Well, thank you so much. If you could, when you get a chance, do a little video and push that up on our social media.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. And tell people to do their tricks and share their tricks.
I like that.
With laser cutters.
Gotcha.
All right, right on. We're going to show some of this stuff off tonight on Ask Engineer.
Sweet. Thanks.
Okie dokie. All right, we're going to go to Scott next, and then we're going to...
Hello.
Here tonight.
I was going to give you cat pictures, but he got off my lap when I accidentally raised my desk. Freaked him out. So what I got today is I've got an IMX 1060 dev board here. It's pretty large, but what you need to know is that there's 2 USB peripherals on this chip, and so each of these plugs here are separate things. So what I've got here is a micro B, like an OTG cable to an A. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in, and then I'm going to plug a keyboard into this OTG cable, and hopefully it will work. So I've been working on USB host, which is the ability to interface with other USB devices rather than pretending to be a USB device yourself. So it looks like it connected. So if you want to pull up the window. Oh, I didn't share it today.
I'll add the window. When you add the window. We'll add the window.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so I've got this keyboard. It's a USB-A connector on it, and I'm going to plug it into the OTG, and we'll see if we can get some letters out of this. So what we have here, and you can see I was doing it before, is that when I plug it in, I can now type on the keyboard.
Ooh.
And so this is doing this is not CircuitPython yet, but it's tiny USB, and it's converting the keys I press into serial output from on the device side of things. So I can't type words because I usually have Colmac, and it's currently set on QWERTY, so I have no idea what I'm typing. But if I do,
oh, looks like a cat's typing.
If I do the top, I'll get QWERTY, and enter works and stuff too. So this is the first step for getting USB host running on CircuitPython, because we're tightly coupled to tiny USB, because tiny USB is awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott. And then will you be showing this up on Deep Dive this Friday?
I will, and it will be the second to last deep dive before
Not
I
ever.
go on leave.
But not ever, but it'll just be for a little while.
Right, before I go on leave.
Okay. All right, so everyone should tune in on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
2 p.m. Pacific.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so
See
much.
y'all there.
Okay,
all right, we're going to go to Kevin. Kevin, you just got off one stream. Now you're on the other.
I know. It's just, full streams tonight. It's been great. Happy National Engineers Week.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's time.
Oh, you got a skateboard too.
What's that?
You have a skateboard too.
I do. I saw Noe and Pedro's skateboard. That was pretty cool. And I have the Digi-Key skateboard above me. I do have lights on it, but it's not lit up at the moment. That's something I should maybe do. So National Engineers Week, I shared with you guys. Oh, I should have had this ready for it. Let me open this up in Chrome really quick. So we were talking about creating the Digi-Keyer for Digi-Key's anniversary coming up, and we have kind of a. Here we go. So we have a quick layout. Let's see, is this sharing now? We got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, so we created a PCB, a quick layout on how we're going to have this Digi-Keyer function. We're going to have a feather on the left-hand side. You can see the rails for the feather. We're going to have a 555 timer using that as the oscillator. And then these long, skinny pads are actually going to be for the paddles, for the dids and the DAWs. So this is Rev 1. I've started to breadboard all this. We have a couple of our engineers working on it, and they've had it working pretty well. So I've started breadboarding it myself, and I want to get this thing functioning. And hopefully by next week, I can share a functioning somewhat functioning version of it with you. So it's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. We're really loving this project.
That's fun.
Here
Retro's
is
in.
the photos that we took when DigiKey let us borrow the Digi-Keyer back in 2018. So this is just some of the photos that we had of the original, the OD, the original one.
Oh, did you hear? ODK?
Yeah, this was from your anniversary from the year 2000.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's such a good piece of history. And we've spent some time talking with our founder a little bit about this, and he's just a wealth of information. It's pretty interesting just to kind of see where the roots of DigiKey came from and learn that story. We all hear it, but once you kind of learn it and live it a little bit,
you get to make it, and other people get to build it. They'll be able to download the files. They'll be able to use a DigiKey PCB service. This will be really cool.
Right, and it's just obviously keyers aren't extremely popular right now, whatever. But I think there's still people doing it, and it's just a really fun legacy project, kind of putting together what can be done and what was done back in the day.
Yeah. Who would have thought that most of our projects were going to be floppy based this week? One never knows. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Thanks. Take care, guys.
All right. So I had everyone DigiKey for us. Okay. Next up, let's go to Jesse, and then we'll go to Matt. Hello, Jesse. How you doing? You're muted, so you want to looks like your mic is off. I will come back to you, Jesse. Looks like it's off on your side. I'm gonna go to Matt.
How's that?
There you go, right under the buzzer. I guess that's
right.
Sports ball. All right, what you got going on?
All right, so you've seen a couple of these already, but I have made a macro keyboard. I was part of the Teach Me PCB course, and I have made a macro keyboard based on
that's cool.
a logo from Warhammer. I just started playing Warhammer, and I had to think of something cool. So right now, all it's acting is like a numpad, and it's moving some lights around. And like the other macro keypads you've seen from us, there was a Majora's Mask one, I think last week or the week before. It's based on the Pico as our core, and it just has a bunch of NeoPixels and uses CircuitPython to interface into our keyboard stuff. And I've also designed some low-profile 3D printed knobs because a regular knob sits up so high that it makes it kind of cumbersome to use, and also makes it look more like an eye.
Oh yeah, when the lights are off, it looks like eyeballs. So that's cool. Yeah. It's actually a cuter, less intimidating skull.
No, it's like a friend little skull.
Yeah.
And I tried to do the backlighting, and I ended up 3D printing a base with clear edges, so then the light can shine out a lot better. And then it just flickers, and when I hit a button, based on what button I hit, it lights up a NeoPixel which runs to the eye. So like one side will be all the lights on here, and the other side will be all the lights on here.
Yeah.
And on my latest version, because it's just kind of cool to have around, I also have NeoPixels that can fit underneath the encoders if I don't want to populate the encoder, so I can just have a cool wall hanger that lights up.
Oh, this is cool.
More skulls.
All right, right on. If there's a place online where you eventually put this up, you can email me PT.Datafred. I'll get of our team blog it up. This is really cool. Good work.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right. We happen to have a lot of folks tonight, so we're going to speed round it, everybody. So if you can keep it to a minute each, we can get to everyone. We're going to go to Matt, and then we're going to go to BCG, then Sai, and then Lali, and then Liz, and then Paint Your Dragon. So Matt, take it away.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Matt. From Washington, D.C. I was just firing up this code where I have a rangefinder here, right here, and I wanted to interact with this light with the rangefinder, and so I'm going to try to demo this now. Basically, I have to hold my hand over the light in a certain range, and now I can adjust the brightness.
So a light theremin.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I can remove, oh, that one didn't work. But I need to remove my hand out of the thing, and now it sets the light, and it doesn't change. And then I have to hold my hand over, and then it reads it there, and now I can change the brightness.
That's cool.
And so, yeah.
Good work.
All right, are you experimenting, or are you going to turn this into like a lamp or a something?
I'd like to turn this into like some sort of lamp in my living room or something.
That's cool.
That's
all right.
Cool lamp.
Well, Matt, if you keep working on this, come back and show us the progress of it.
Will do. Cool.
Cool project. I have a lamp that kind of does that, but it doesn't work anymore, so I have to fix it. So.
Well, Matt, you're designing a
I
new
know.
one.
I know. All right. Thanks, Matt.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
All right. BCG, what you got going on? Oh, you are
also muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. How's it going?
I have a TinyGo keyboard project that I wanted to show. So I got my Kinesis Advantage keyboard here, and I found this open source PCB that you can put a teensy into.
Oh,
and so I made a couple. This is like UART coming off of it, and then this is the reset button because there's a like a cable coming off of here. So so I broke that out in case I need to reset it, and then I used your breakout here to in case I need to do that, and then I wrote TinyGo keyboard firmware on it, and it's working pretty well so far. And then I'm also kind of doing the same with my wife got me macro pad for my birthday, so
nice.
I'm trying to make that work. So
okay,
all right.
That one doesn't have it doesn't have USB HID yet, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. But
all right, well, very cool. We'll keep coming back as you make progress on this. We have a bunch of keyboard projects. So
I
it's
think
good to see
people are
these.
working on TinyGo with USB support for the RP2040, so hopefully soon.
Yep.
All right, nice work,
thank
BCG.
you so much. Next up, we're going to go to Sai. I think I got that right.
Hi.
What you got going on?
So I used the QT Py 2040 to build this speedometer. I should not have used the blurring filters.
That's okay. Yeah, keep it in the middle. There you go.
Yeah. So I used the QT Py 2040 and interfaced it. So I designed my own PCB where I'm interfacing to a Bosch IMU. And I built a pedometer off of this. And I actually interfaced a display, an I2C display. And right before joining the show, I hit the treadmill for an hour and compared it with my Fitbit. And it's actually showing about 8,900 steps.
Yeah.
And it's like the step count on this is like, within 250 steps of my watch, basically.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since the QT Py actually comes with like 128 MB of memory, I'm planning to take this project forward where I stored the step count locally, and I probably might add, connectivity to it so that I could, upload it somewhere. I'm planning to, make this a long-term project, but it was pretty fun. The only thing is I got to work it with an Arduino, the libraries. I could have, in the future, I might consider porting it to Circuit Python.
Either or both. That's what's cool about all this stuff. You get to choose. All right. Well, cool project. Keep coming back and showing it off, and good luck on keeping up with 10,000 steps a day. We don't always get to that.
That's a lot.
We've been trying.
But you're doing good.
Yeah, good work.
Thank you.
Looking healthy.
All right. Next up, we're gonna go to
Lali,
and then we're gonna try to go to Liz, and then Phil B. We'll see if we get everybody.
Hi guys. So last year I released this kit. The Scout makes a FM radio kit, which has a NRF 52840 that's mounted on top to run a FM radio on it. So I decided, why don't I make it a STEMMA board because it runs on I2C. So I finally got my PCBs back. I made a STEMMA equivalent of this RDA 5807 FM module. So I got a bit of a STEMMA party going on here. So I got a QT Py RP2040. I got my STEMMA board that I built with the FM module. Also here I have the Neo key, 4 Neo keypad, and also a 128 by 32 STEMMA LCD. So the radio actually works. It's FM radio. It's running Circuit Python. I have a mute button here, so the audio is not coming on, but it was running. You can see the radio frequency on this, and it also has RDS information as well. Also volume up, volume down, and presets, channel presets as well. So that's all running here. Plan to release this soon, but it's all open source, going to Oshawa to open source certified as well. But anyway, this is cool. Love the STEMMA stuff. So
keep coming back with the progress, and after you get the boards.
Will do. Thanks.
And then you can email me if and when you publish it anywhere. Let us know, and we'll get it up on the blog, and we'll put it in all the newsletters and more. This is looking good.
Thanks. Love the STEMMA stuff. Lego. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we're gonna go to Liz, and then we're gonna try to go to Phil B. Liz, take it away.
Hey, how's it going? Working on the MIDI for Makers guide, and this is one of the examples will be in there. When you send a note on message, servo moves, note off, servo goes back. Just kind of show interfacing with different components with MIDI if people want to build robots and such. So.
Ooh, yes, it's great for input and output, and yeah, you can get like keyboards and stuff. It's kind of, you know, it's a lot of people forget that you can very easily use it with microcontrollers. A lot of people kind of think of it as its own universe, but it's quite easy to get working with Arduino or CircuitPython or Raspberry Pi and all that.
Definitely. So I'm hoping this guide will help folks get started with that.
Yes, I think there definitely should be keyboards to more keytars to robot dog interfaces. I think that'd be a good thing.
That's a world I want to live in.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz, and we'll see you probably next week.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, Phil B, play us out. What you got going on this week?
Not much time, so I can't show something, but I just want to mention when Jeff brought out the floppy disk, the Scotch 5 1/4. Like there was a moment there of like the Hitchcock Zoom childhood flashback.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, when we're imaging all these discs and stuff, I think we also got to get pictures of these things because like I hadn't seen that in years. And
I saw that. I'm just like, what is that font? I need to find. And you found the font, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that was the digital, the deck disc, but there was also the Commodore disc he showed.
Oh, the other one. Yeah.
The Scotch logo. And I'm remembering now we had like the leading edge discs, the elephant disc, and there were all these ones that like, yeah, I hope, you know, if we have pictures of them. I
actually love the sleeves. You know, I think the sleeves actually had some great art on them. Very, you know, a lot of people don't take photos of the sleeves and keep the sleeves, but they had some cool stuff on them too.
Yeah, so if anybody gets a good looking disc, I'd like to see the disc as well as, you know, the software that's on there.
Yeah, when we imaged the Prince floppy or got the files off of it, we took photos of the front and back because we're like, the physical disc itself is just as interesting as what's on it. Yeah. Reminds me of the reason why vinyl records continue to be something that people like, because there's a different tactical feel to it. Like now you download software, you don't see anything. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a USB drive, not even really, not so much. You don't even get a DVD or a CD-ROM anymore, but a disc, there was a thing and there was like art on it sometimes or graphics.
Even just the logos, you know, I've seen like the VHS cassette box, like some people collect those.
Yeah,
they do
Laserdisc.
Whole animated videos that people have done, like flashback logos. Yeah. But seeing that with the floppy was just like, wow, nostalgia.
Yeah, tonight on Ask an Engineer, which we're going to do in just a couple of minutes, we're going to show some photos from this week's retro collection, and it's the box from the Quick Cam, the black and white one, and it was a triangular box because that was the theme. This was Kinex before it turned into Logitech. So, oof,
cool
memories.
Yep. Anyway, you go do that. And
okay, we're gonna go do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
we'll keep showing stuff and more. Thank you everybody for joining us during the show and tell. This week, it's our favorite half an hour every single week. We'd love to do it longer, but we got to run an Adafruit. We got to do Ask an Engineer. We have a remote team meeting. We're doing a lot of stuff. But we're going to keep doing this. We'll probably see y'all next week. If it's not us, it'll be Noe and Pedro or GP. And thanks for making this a fantastic half an hour and showing and sharing your projects. We'll see everybody.
And childhood memories.
Yeah, we'll see everyone and Ask an Engineer in just a few minutes. Bye-bye.